And welcome back, everybody. I'm Eki in the booth, still with Wild Rumpus and Dr. Underscore on production. We are back finally. A little bit of a longer delay than I think we were anticipating, but you know what? Good things are worth waiting for as we are going to very shortly get into a match on Metalworks between Witness Gaming Jr. and Ty Gummy.
Yup, and let's look at this. Okay, I was wondering, because we're going to be getting to rosters here in a moment, and the 12th person has finally joined. So, yeah, well, this might be a short pregame, we'll see. But yeah, I will run down the list here for the blue team, of which I am not sure which one that is.
This has grapes on it, so that would be Witness Gaming Jr. that you'd look over.
Yep, so Witness Gaming Jr., we have the Man and Grapes on Scouts. Looks like Mr. Person on Demo, Professor Carr, and Meggies will be the soldiers, and then they have Juice on Medic.
Sounds like a pretty good roster. We've got Grape. Grape, but not grape juice. So not quite there, not quite on the same level. Though we do have grapes and juice on the same team, so maybe they can combine together to make grape juice. I guess we'll have to see. But for Ty Gummy, your other team here, red team, your scouts are going to be Opal and Mr. Wolf. Your soldiers will be Ink and Wes. Your demo man will be Gay Tony, and your med will be Soul Bad Guy.
Okay. Yeah, and we are in Metalworks, which we have already kind of introduced on the previous match, but that was so long ago now that we may as well reiterate. Metalworks definitely a less intuitive map to play than, like a Process, for example, where a lot of the ways that you would route your combo, and especially like mid to second stalemate's going to be a little counterintuitive, and especially when it comes to where to stand while pushing a last point, for example, also a little finicky. So we're going to see how these newbies can adjust to that. But yeah.
Yeah, I think Metalworks is definitely going to be a bit of an interesting map to see. Like we were talking about earlier, these last holds and these last pushes, I think, are going to be what makes or breaks this game, because Metalworks last can be a different beast. We all know the fabled snake water stalemate on last, where it's just back and forth and back and forth. But I feel snake water is only slightly worse than metal. I think metal isn't quite to the same degree as bad as snake water can get, but it definitely can get bad, and it definitely will be a challenge for these newbies to try and find their way through it and navigate it. Now, these coaches that they have, I'm sure, have told them all of the ways under the sun to try and break into metal last. I'm sure they've even looked over on the other side and they've told them all the things under the moon as well. So, I mean, they've probably been given as many, strats as they can possibly use to get into last. What really matters is just if they're able to execute it or not.
Yeah, true. And honestly, from the last match, we didn't even see a last stalemate at all, because things were either even Ubers on second or they were ad for one team or the other, which I don't expect to necessarily be the case here on Metalworks. Those transitions are a little longer, so you really have to keep the pace up if you're trying to squeeze out as many points with your Uber advantages. But that being said, the mid also kind of high stakes. It's very easy for a demo to just be faster than the other demo and kind of shut them out. And very easy for a team to just walk out choke on high ground and just kind of instantly walk at a team and annihilate them. On top of there being just kind of awkward spam angles at times, it's not a rare mid for a player in normal positioning to just kind of drop to spam.
Yeah, I think it's entirely possible that we'll see, no matter how well a team plays mid, they'll probably drop a player, maybe two, just from spam alone, just because of how prevalent it is on a map like Metalworks. You kind of play your Metalworks mid based off of, if you can get good spam or not 50% of the time, unless you have your soldiers do a window bomb or, someone fades, someone goes in, something like that. So, there's really only so much you can do on these mids. At the end of the day, it just kind of boils down to, is your demo faster than theirs, and can you lock out lower or choke? And if not, can we win the battle of cross-map 48 damage rocket spam? Can our demo land a perfect Hail Mary sticky onto the other demo, or, open up a bomb or something? So these mids either are going to be really, really slow, or they're going to be very explosive and fast. And to be honest, I'm excited to see either or between these two teams. If I may be frank, I think no matter what mid we get, we're going to see something explosive and just pretty entertaining to see just through any of them. But I guess time will tell. We are going live shortly, if I'm not mistaken. So,
yep. I'm not familiar with any of the players here. I think that's kind of the nature of the thing, so only so much point in doing predictions. But I guess one prediction that is worth wondering is, how close do you think it'll be? Because from what I've seen, especially with the last map we casted, sometimes, one team just kind of puts in more work. They maybe scrim 2 extra days a week than the other, and when you're brand new to sixes, that really makes a difference in the early stages, so it can be kind of uneven. So what are your thoughts?
Well, the only thing I know about these teams is that Witness Gaming Jr. is affiliated with Witness Gaming, kind of. I'm pretty sure Witness is coaching them, or at least a player from Witness Gaming is coaching them. I'm not sure what the arrangement is there. I believe it's just Witness coaching them, but either way, they have a very seasoned player, someone who's proven themselves multiple times. They have a lot of resources at their disposal. They have a lot of knowledge being passed down to them. Even if they're not performing very well in scrims, despite that knowledge they're being given, it could just be maybe they're not performing well in the scrims, and it could be a completely, different ball game here. It could be like a 180. When they actually get into their match. I know that happens a couple times with some teams, but getting some insider info here. Apparently, Witness won their first game 5-0 and tie 3-0. Witness has been practicing more by about 40 more logs per player on average compared to the players on tie. So this will definitely be an interesting matchup. I'm wondering if those extra 40 logs will come into play here, or maybe the players on tie are just, gifted. Maybe they could be next up. Who knows?
Yeah, true. Man, I had a thought and it has completely escaped me. Damn. Right. Whatever. We can find something to talk about in the meantime.
a little bit of a short circuit in the brain there. Can't think of anything. Actually, one thing I do want to mention, maybe while I'm thinking about this, you can dig around in your brain and see if you can find what you were thinking about. Channel predictions are live, so if you have channel points that you want to throw at either of these teams, do a little bit of gambling with some fake money. Get it twisted. You will profit with these channel points. Gamble. Get in there. Get on in there. Put your channel points in. Let her rip. And let it fly. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put some channel points down right now. I'll put 2K on Witness Jr. That's what I'll do. I'll put 2K on Witness Jr.
Yeah, I also kind of want to put money in on them, considering that they have allegedly been scrimming more. It just makes a world of difference for when you're brand new, just actually getting the reps in.
Mm-hmm. I do think we are going live soon, and I just gotta say I agree 100% with the fact that it's like, even if it's like one extra scrim a week compared to what every other team in the cup is doing or something like that, it'll help you exponentially. Getting even an extra day or even an extra half day of practice will just help you so much more, because it gives you more time to put the things you're learning into practice. It lets you put pen to paper as opposed to just hearing someone say something at you, then having to remember that for the next couple days while you're not doing anything, especially if you're not pugging as well, which could also be something that these players are doing that may or may not be factored in. They could also be pugging a whole lot. So, it really depends on just which team has been putting in the most work. And I think Witness, again, like I said, they have Witness himself there to, coach them and guide them and, show them what their mistakes are, how they can improve. They also, again, have that 40 on average higher, or 40 logs on average, just higher than the rest of TIE. But we are going live with this first mid on Metalworks for the round 2 of day 1. And I think with how slow this is going to be, looks like TIE is going to be a little bit slower. Their demo not able to get to the door quickly enough. So Witness Gaming Jr. definitely going to be able to shut them out quickly.
Mr. Person with the advantage here. He's going to be shooting a choke, but only soldiers go in there. Immediate walk-up, actually, from the blue team. And going to be a bomb in from Ink, landing on the demo, confirming 2 kills, actually. And that number advantage is going to make a big deal. Slow start for TIE, but yeah, they are looking like they're winning this mid.
Yeah, getting Professor Carr there late in the fight is going to be very helpful.
Man.
But the man walking forward, no fear in their eyes at all. They go for the beam kill. Are they going to be able to get it, though? No, the beam is just too strong. They find 2. They find a demo and a scout for it, if I am not mistaken. But at the end of the day, it's not enough for them to be able to salvage or it's not even really a salvage, it's just not enough for them to get the med pick that I think the man was looking for. And they will be forced back onto their second with TIE winning that mid.
Yep, so going to be even Ubers now. Time for some sacks from TIE. And I remember the thing that I had forgotten earlier. I was going to point out how Witness Gaming have the matching hats, which was something that we saw from Yellow Bever as well. Ooh, Meggles, or Meggies with the off-timing there. Definitely a common off-timing bomb to go for when teams approach from alley. Ink getting so much space.
Wait a minute! He gets the force too! West!
Yeah, 3 kills as well. This is... So it is an exchange, but one in which blue needs to be out. I don't know why they're still in. This turned from down 3 players on last to now a wipe on second, with a very late med death at that. So we'll see if these players on last are able to hold off for long enough. I think an NG might just be too slow here.
Yeah, I don't know if having an NG is really the play. With the beam being alive, they may not have Uber, but they can really just waddle forward and tank the spam. But does look like the beam and the demo got a little too overzealous, but maybe, just maybe, no. It will not be enough. Doesn't look like Mr. Wolf going to be able to be the one-man army they need to be and secure the dub in that moment. But this isn't too bad for Witness Gaming Jr. They were able to get Soul down, which means the Ubers will be pretty even. West will die here inside of house, and Ink probably falling soon after. Actually, no, will be able to jump away.
A little crazy here. Honestly, the space is being given, so they aren't really getting punished for this, but there wasn't a real strong advantage to be pushing out a last with. Obviously, Soul was still rolling out.
Okay, Tony.
Yeah, just caught here to the aggression. Well, that kill definitely should inspire Witness to get a little aggressive. They are stuck with a Pudis, who's going to be going back to switch off, so that might slow things down a bit, but still, a demo pick's a demo pick.
And I think part of what's really going to come and bite TIE back here is that their demo was super overextended there, so while the rest of their team was already out on mid, the only real reason Gay Tony died is because he was just way too far in, and they got taken down because of it. They paid the price. And now we have Witness Gaming looking to push forward. It's only about 15 ad here, so they need to do something quickly if they want to take the space. Otherwise, they're going to have to rip an exchange. Maggie's going to go for a fight on Blue Crate, get taken down by Ink, almost traded out, but not quite. Is going to back away in time, and with a player down.
Staying in as well. Carr just walking through choke. Does get a bomb off, but probably going to get cleaned up here. And again, I mean, this just raises to question what is the advantage. Oh man,
With big bomb in
Witness
from
now
Ink,
getting
getting
forced.
the force.
It makes you wonder what is the advantage with which Witness was taking this fight. That being said, he somehow just conjured up 3 kills. I don't know exactly how that happened, but the post-Uber is still not really favorable for them. Grapes is behind, could make something happen against the demo med, but now the scouts here who clean up. Grapes should be going down here.
Grapes and Juice meeting up. Perhaps the power of grape juice will flow through their bodies. Meggy!
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Gonna go in. Taking down Soul. Gay Tony dying as well. Beggy gonna find Opal 2. Grapes finding 3. Holy moly. He's just going on a roll. Grapes finds 4. It's brutal. It's a smackdown. And Grapes is gonna be able to find a lot of picks for Witness there.
Yeah, and on a 8 kill streak as well. These forwards won't get denied. Oh man, but that is a lot of damage. They all just barrel out. I was a little scared at it only being a soldier holding that door and not stickies. But yeah, Grapes on an absolute tear. Oh, Gay Tony committing out of forwards and going down. That is a demo that is not on last.
Either.
No stickies on last. This should be a pretty straightforward round.
Grapes with a 10 kill streak, looking to find another to add. Will not be able to find anyone, but does soften up Wes for Professor Carr to pick up. And it looks like Witness Gaming Jr., despite their initial shortcoming on the mid, will be able to turn it around and send it straight into ties last. And I'm thinking now they're looking to right their wrongs from that previous mid. I think they're going to be a little bit quicker yet again. Compared to Ty, as Witness is already pretty deep into their house. Actually, it might be a little bit... Actually, this is pretty even, I think, here. Actually, I think Witness is a little bit slower this time around, so they're not going to be able to lock me one out. Ink will get taken down, but the man is very low on height. The health for Witness Gaming isn't looking too great, but neither is the health for Ty here. So I think the real strategy is just for Ty to get out. They're back in their valley with no space whatsoever, so taking a fight there is really just going to cost them their own second at the end of the day. So I really like that recognition. I really like the pacing where they just pull back.
They kind of won that mid off of Maggie's just instantly bombing, sync bombing choke and just collecting a kill onto Ink before any of the soldiers could even walk forward choke. And just, you can just slow play that kill and it works out well. But we're seeing the alley pressure now. Maggie's will be high bombing. Gonna be looking to land on the demo. Confirms that kill. The combo walks up, uses Uber. Mr. Person in danger, can't get flashed. But on the flip side, Gay Tony as well getting dropped into Uber. So exchange is overall even as far as
the man is behind.
Concerned.
Yeah. The man is on the beam. He gets Soul. He trades with Ink he trades out. Ink
this is
getting
actually
the trade.
Scary.
Wait a minute.
Juice.
Now it's Opal on Juice. Oh, this is war right here. This is no punches pulled. They are just throwing them at one another. Med for med, demo for demo, soldier for soldier. It is brutal here as we see, I believe this is Meggies and West taking a fight on mid, trying to, I believe Wes here is just trying to bait the cat, maybe have some people turn around, get some space for his team. They're going to be able to take down Mr.
Wow.
Oh no. That's unfortunate. Walks into the sticky with the skill stick out and gets mini crit to death. That's just unfortunate. Looks like Witness Gaming Jr. looking to just run their way back in. They know they have the player ad to do so.
Yeah, just no real semblance of a hold from the red team. And honestly, earlier on second there, yeah, Juice and Grapes could have just backed up and probably survived. And honestly, once you kill the other team's med, your own medic's life becomes very important. As Ink is actually caught here on 2. Gonna be trying to jump around with some theatrics, but nope, it's not long for this world. And Mr. Wolf actually died somehow. It may have been a crater somewhere on the map I didn't see. But that's a soldier and a scout dead. Oh, yeah, that's dying. I wonder if that's like a class switch out of the spawn. Yeah, I see the scattergun.
Maybe.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. That's, I mean, that's just an unfortunate set of circumstances. Class swap out of spawn or something like that. Yeah, they're up on NG now, so it's just an unfortunate set of circumstances, but I'm sure they'll be able to pick up after it. I mean, it is even Uber, so I don't think Witness is going to be too aggressive. Well, you know, as I say that, they use very early. Looking to run in through Banana, take down that gun before it can even shoot at them. Sentry gets taken out very early. Uber does pop for the side of Ty as well, and it's slightly worse for them, actually, as they're not able to save Gay Tony at any point during it, and they drop it. Now Mr. Wolf going to go down. Looks like Opal now West, 2 players alive, just Ink and Soul alive. Ink can't get to the point in time, tries his best, but will face the music. Witness Gaming Jr. is going to be up 2-0.
Yeah, that was just a really well-played exchange as well. I mean, they immediately get the force, and then the man just runs past, isolates the demo kill, and importantly, no one else on Witness Gaming Jr. died, which is why they were able to take that refight with the player advantage and just play for the point, play their bombs well, and yeah, just crunch.
Yeah, I mean, just very well played from Witness there, playing around the counter very well. But we do have Professor Carr going in very deep, landing on red forwards, getting a lot of good damage. Does try to play around the health pack, but with it being gone, isn't quite able to. It actually spawns as soon as he dies, so in a fit of irony, goes down, loses that fight. Witness Gaming Jr. here, their health is looking pretty poor, but they're wanting to stay in. They get West very late into this fight, which is going to be super beneficial for them, as with West being dead, it pretty much removes any other projectiles from the equation. And they can pretty much just take the hit scan 1v2 with the demo there to soften them up, but these scouts are just a little too aggressive from the side of Ty, and it's working out very much in their favor. But a lot of spawners coming through now on the side of Witness Gaming Jr. Both soldiers waddling into house. I wonder how this is going to play out.
Yeah, and the re-aggression is working quite well. Oh, Soul with a drop, actually, and the insta-pop from Juice is a very safe decision to make there. Pretty smart. You just don't want to lose any players. You don't want to die yourself. And you know that no matter what happens, as long as you don't drop Uber, it's still going to be ad when all is said and done. So you may as well save people, collect kills, just simplify sort of the board.
Yeah. No point in making it harder than it has to be. Don't need to reinvent the wheel. You can just insta-pop right off of that and clean up as many picks as you possibly can. I mean, the man there with the drop onto Soul is just gargantuan. I think Witness probably could have managed to get those kills regardless without the Uber and maybe had saved it for last, but I also have no complaints with them using it there at all. I mean, it was just a great heads-up play nonetheless. I mean, either way you spin it, both are great plays to do there. You might drop someone if you don't use, or maybe drop 2, which will slow you down a bit, which I think is why Witness decided they just wanted to rip it and just send it in. Because, I mean, they have their Uber here. They know it's going to be even, but this also isn't the first time they've pushed on an even last.
Yep, Uber gets popped. A little bit of juggling in the doorway. Mr. Person actually very weak, not going to be involved in this Uber, but that's a lot of cap time and a demo and a soldier kill. Counter Uber does get popped, but just with the state of numbers right now, I foresee a re-heal into refight into round win from Witness potentially.
The man is on the point, taking the 1v1, gets a lot of good damage out and a lot of cap time, and pretty much secures the win for his team there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, just good stuff. They're consistently getting these kills in Ubers, like getting kills on Gay Tony pretty regularly, and a soldier and a scout or something like that, and just having those 2 kills is more than enough difference to matter a lot in those last fights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have to agree. I mean, Witness is just doing a very good job at playing around these even Uber, you know, taking these exchanges into last, which is definitely something you don't see a lot of newbies or inexperienced players do. So I'm very happy to see that they're taking it in very confidently and succeeding with it. Professor Carr and Meggies do try and go in deep, but do pay the price for it. They do get taken down. Juice and the man as well, with no med alive for the side of Witness Gaming Jr. It now becomes salvage o'clock for Grapes and Mr. Person, if they can even find their way in. But at this point, with the spawns being so close now, it's just kind of on you to get out of dodge, survive for as long as you possibly can, and make sure your med doesn't somehow explode and stuff.
I was worried about traps because Mr. Person left house. I don't see any deep traps in house, only on the door itself. This is the first time, I think, that Ty are in the driver's seat. They are just trying to get through house. They pop through house. Ooh, and that's a caught medic.
Oh, and they're going deep onto Juice.
Yeah,
oh, he's knocked up into the corner.
Okay, they get the med, but their own scout died, and look at this Uber, and all the blue players just collapsing. Oh, man.
My. West, the last man.
I'll call that a DM diff kind of fight, to be honest, because... I don't know, just every player not involved in the Uber dying during the Uber, and then just the really good coordination collapsing the second that Uber fades for a full wipe.
Yeah, this is pretty dominant showing from Witness Gaming Jr. Even when they're in the passenger seat there, or even in the back seat, it felt like given
the
their,
trunk.
Ubers, the trunk, all the way in the trunk, just given their Uber situation and given how I would assume they'd have to hold. They played that very well. They pretty much threw themselves out of the trunk. They pulled the emergency release latch and threw themselves into the driver's seat and won the fisticuffs brawl with Ty to resume control over the vehicle. So with them back in the driver's seat, I want to know how they're going to try and push into this with being down Ubers.
Yeah, notably, actually Grapes dying to the pipe spam there. Maggie's finding a trade is quite nice in that situation. However, we're just seeing more aggression. This is definitely less advisable from Witness Gaming, but the fact that they're just collecting kills, it just doesn't even matter. Like, the fundamentals of who has the real advantage or disadvantage based on the player ad or disad or what have you really doesn't apply when you just hit all your shots way better than the other team.
Mm-hmm. I think what's really benefiting Witness... Oh, this is just brutal. They have the sticky trap, or they have the spawn stickied off. They can't get out in time, and this is just unfortunate. Witness Gaming Jr. will take the 4th round up against Ty. And like I was saying just a second ago, before I had to stop and comment on the massacre that was the spawn stickies, I think what's really, really benefiting Witness Jr. here is the fact that they're just not fearing. They don't care what the situation is. They know what they want to do, and they rip it without question. They don't care. They don't stall. They don't hesitate. They just go. And I think that's really, really benefiting them here, especially against Ty, who seems to be holding up just a little bit too much.
Yeah, like, we just see the instant double soldier bomb. Doesn't actually turn into any kills, but just like that, the kills get traded out. And by the rest of the team, so it didn't even matter that both those soldiers didn't really get any direct kills with their bomb. It is still nonetheless a mid-win for them. Yeah, and as you mentioned, I mean, just having the confidence is quite nice. Oh no. Gay Tony just drop down there into the loving arms of the blue team.
The loving embrace of Witness Jr. But, I mean, it's almost been 20 minutes. About 17:40 has passed in the game, so it's not like Witness Gaming is getting a super quick steamroll. It is still under those 30 minutes that you would see Banny time kick in from, or infinite overtime, or whatever you want to call it. It is under those 30 minutes, but it's definitely not, a super fast steamroll. It's definitely still a kind of roll. It's just not a steamroll here. Ink will go down. Professor Carr, I'm sorry. Is the Whoa. Really pulling out the... Really is a Witness team pulling out the shotgun pocket tech.
Other soldiers on airstrike as well, notably. They do find another kill during that Uber as well. Counter Uber gets popped. Demo dies, which is tough. The man on sniper could be an asset, but could be a liability, depending on whether shots are connected or not. Grapes finding another, and airstrike high bomb does just land on the med. Oh man, down 3
Oh, the man is out.
It's
the man is just walking over
that...
stickies. He doesn't fear.
God.
He takes out West. It's Opal under the bridge. 1 HP. Gets meleeed by the ham, by the man. The man walks over the point. Gets killed by the stickies. Oh my goodness. This is just all over the place right now. I think Witness Gaming getting a little too carried away with the Trollolo moment, but maybe they'll come back with proper loadouts and all.
Honestly, like the soldier troll loadouts got kills. It was just kind of the sniper. Like you just can't push as confidently with it, even though I think the sniper still hit a headshot. But nonetheless, going to be roughly even here. It looks like...
I think they're going to double Batman. Hold on. Batman and Robin up there. Hold the phone.
Which would actually be really bad for Ty if they pushed. I guess it's perceived to be more ad than it actually is.
Maybe.
Because I suppose Juice died considerably later than Soul did, but still.
Come on, Meggies, get up there. Get up on Batman. Come on. Don't give up just yet. You gotta get up there so the bit can be fulfilled.
They're going the exact
they're
wrong
going
door
towards
against the
choke.
Batman.
Oh, wait, they're backing up now. They do have the man slipping in through backdoor. Gets the back. Somehow does it die to the stickies that are on the wall? What in the world is that? And now West bombing forward. Doesn't die to the stickies on the floor. Probably gonna die to Grapes here. Oh, he's getting bombed by Meggy. The Minecraft kill. This is...
Well, that's the kill they wanted to start pressuring now. Well, they didn't even need a kill to start pressuring, but that definitely makes it all the better.
Yeah.
We do see Valley approach, standard stuff, and I just wonder who's going to be electing the next kill, because that's kind of been the way things have gone. Witness just sort of walk forward and start killing people. Do have the airstrike bomb.
Oh, Meggies.
Yeah.
Oh, they trade with Gay Tony there. Grapes finding the kill. Does look like the force will come out, so Witness Gaming Jr. has to use. But, man, this is rough. Ty has just dropped all their players.
Yeah,
they're leaving one and going. I think this will be it, folks. I don't think there's much that Ty can do. It's just Opal. And the winner of Group Stage Round 2 on Metalworks between Witness and Ty will be Witness Gaming Jr. With the Witness in the chat to observe their beautiful victory.
Yeah, I mean, that really goes to show just how much of a difference that early practice can make. Because honestly, if you... Now, let me no disrespect to any of the players, but if you swap the amount of time put in between the two teams, it might just be the reverse, to be honest. But nonetheless, I mean, Witness showing the grind, and definitely it wasn't just a matter of like DM difference, because there were a lot of plays that made a lot of sense that they were kind of thinking heads up, like the spawn camp on second. A lot of teams with less experience are not going to even realize that there's a full team coming through those forward spawns, and they might just be caught to it rather than collecting kills through it.
Yeah, I would have to second that sentiment. But looking at these logs here, probably not going to tell the greatest story, given it was a 5-0 and Ty wasn't able to perform, I think, as best as they were hoping they would be able to. But nonetheless, a 19-20 minute or a 19-minute 20-second game. Pretty good amount of time to be holding against Witness Gaming Jr., especially when you're losing a lot of those fights, you're losing a lot of players, you're in disad positions a lot of the time, whether it be Uber or players or some kind of situation where you just don't have the upper hand. We've seen Ty in those situations a lot, and I really think part of it, again, goes back to Witness Gaming Jr. just being able to be so aggressive and have virtually no fear. But the top damage dealer is Grapes, sitting at 301 DPM, going 23, 10, and 6.
Yeah, this is pretty much the log I was expecting to see, because the man and Grapes were both just running down the other team.
Yeah.
It just kind of seemed like the scouts were just trains off a rail, just plowing through, and the log definitely reflects that. I mean, they're just getting a lot of kills and a lot of damage, and yeah.
And I would like to point out that the man is the flank scout for Witness Gaming Jr., so they're doing a very good job at just getting in and playing cleanup crew. They're very good at getting in when it's, permitted. I saw them a couple times just running through and not really caring if someone is looking at the doorway. They're just going through, they're trying to get a play, and it's working out for them. So for the time being, I don't think they really need to change anything, but come playoffs, because I'm fairly confident we're going to be seeing Witness Gaming Jr. in these playoffs. Come playoffs, I think maybe the man might have to dial it back a little bit, play slightly more with his team, but beyond that, I think Witness Gaming Jr. is showing a very strong understanding of the fundamentals and just really, really giving other teams the business right now.
Yeah, true. I don't know if I have anything else to say about the log. I mean, the game kind of spoke for itself. Witness definitely putting on a clinic.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if there really is anything else to say about these logs. It's the cast tells a very different story than the logs do most of the time. I mean, Grape's dropping a 5.5 KAD there, a 3.8 KD. I mean, it's just that's a dominant performance across the board anywhere. I think anyone you talk to would say, yeah, that's kind of a roll right there. But they also didn't get to see the times that Ty was able to kind of hold back a push from Witness Gaming Jr. But I think that will do it for our game coverage for today. We don't have any more games slated for tonight. We got to cover Process and Metalworks for you, and we will be back tomorrow with more coverage. Not sure which maps or which teams will be covered yet. Actually, okay, Bagel and a Veto for tomorrow. So we'll be covering some Koth and a fourth super secret, awesome, top sneaky map. But I think that's going to do it for us tonight. I've been Eki. This has also been Wild Rumpus with _ on production. I'm excited to see these guys play tomorrow, and I think I hope to see everybody there again.